Welcome to the Sunshine Podcast. This is yours truly, Dora Williams, and we are here with the transparent moments. Yes, we are here with transparent moments, and we're going to get right into it because I want to just talk from my heart on today from a subject of stop being scared of change. Stop being scared of change. You know, change has been going on since the beginning of time. And we all know in this common sense that nothing ever, really ever stays the same. It's going to change in some way, form, or fashion. Something as simple as the tree in your backyard changes from season to season. Certain seasons, you don't see no leaves on the tree. Certain seasons, you see leaves, you see fruits, depending on what type of tree it is. So something simple as a tree changes. If you all have children, you know on a daily basis, children change. Children grow rapidly every day. They don't stay babies, infants. From the time you have them, women, up until 3-4 years later, they're walking. You're no longer holding them in your arms. You're no longer toting them. 3-4 years later, they're down on their own feet walking. They're changing before your eyes. Marriages change on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. When you meet your spouse in the dating stage, even during the dating stages, people change. So by the time you get married, you have learned so much and seen so much in that individual from the time you met them. They're the same, but they're not the same. You notice different things about them that you have not noticed before. Change. Your job consistently changes daily in order for it to grow. Sometimes the rules have to change. Sometimes the way you do things has to change to make the progress of sales become bigger and better. When you first started your job up to now, you're not doing the same thing you did when you first started working there. And most of y'all probably was mad when the boss said we have a meeting because there's some changes getting ready to take place. Y'all probably gave these people hell for no reason. But change has to take place. And if we look around, the church world is changing drastically. The way we have church now is changing. If you get out in this world, come out of your house and get out in this world, you will see this world is changing by the minute. Time does not stand still. People do not stand still. Time changes. Time brings about a change. And we have to be open and be acceptive of change. We have got to come off of this phrase and this saying that I hear all the time, more so from, the elderly people. That ain't what I grew up on. Okay, I give you that. No disrespect to nobody. I'll give you that. Oh, they back in my time, we didn't do all this stuff we doing now. But if you don't come up to and accept change and come up to what's going on in these times, you're going to be lost living in this fast-growing, fast-moving world, and you're going to be left out. While you have the opportunity to embrace change, while you have the opportunity to be taught how to do things up in this timing, you need to embrace it and learn all you can. Because I'm telling you, y'all are getting ready to be lost, even some of you younger ones. Y'all are getting ready to be lost because we are stuck on one thing. And we all know common sense tells us that it's more than one way to do a thing. But some of us, we are tunnel struck. We get in the groove, we see something, and that's all we want to know. We choose not to learn anything else. We choose not to change because we get hooked on one thing and don't want to change. And that's bad, y'all. That can hurt us in the end. We have to embrace change. A lot of the stuff that took place back in the day, I mean, especially like a lot of foods and stuff and a lot of clothing, people are just not making that anymore. And if you're so stuck on that, why haven't you learned how to do it so that it can stick around for such a time as this? We've got to do better. It's one thing to understand where you come from and appreciate where you come from, but you need to appreciate and accept where you're going as well. And not remain stuck in just one way of living, one way of doing things. And then we try to raise our kids to do the same thing we've done, and it's just not going to work like that. Wear the same clothing we wear. Do the same thing we've done. Get the same job we got. We can't do that. Things are changing. People are changing. We have to accept even people for who they are. When children grow up, they pretty much have their own mind, unless there's some parents that, think and speak for their kids and not giving them the opportunity to have their own mind and think for themselves and make decisions for themselves. But once these children grow up to be adults, they have their own mind on things they want to do. And 9 times out of 10, they're not going to do what they were raised and what they were taught. They're going to go their own way and learn their own way. And yes, in doing that, they're going to make a lot of mistakes. They're going to fall, but they have to be allowed to do that so that they'll know. My father always taught me experience is the best teacher. And sometimes they have to experience it. Even though you're sitting on the sideline as the parent and it's hurting you because you already know they put to hit rock bottom. You already know that man going to break your daughter's heart. You already know your son puts to mess over somebody else's daughter. You already know they're going to get on that job and not do right and get fired. You know this. But telling them is just a waste of time. Some children will listen and some won't. But that's what the meaning of time brings about a change. They're not listening anymore. They want to experience. People want to have their own experience and their own story and their own testimony. And it's more than fair. It is more than fair. But y'all got to come on and come up off this. That ain't what I used to do. That ain't what I'm used to. I never did it that way. But there's always an opportunity to learn something new. There's a first time for everything. And then if it doesn't work out and you still don't like it, then fine. You don't have to continue to do it, but open up your mind. Open up your heart to learning some new things. Because things are just not what they used to be. Time is not what it used to be. Food is not what it used to be no more. Some things I ate as a child, I can't even find in the stores today. So what? I'm going to tell them, go to the store and tell the manager, y'all got to get this out of here. This stuff ain't what I'm used to. Y'all got to get this stuff I'm used to. No. These folk going to look at you like you crazy. You go in the clothing store and you can't see nothing you used to wear back in the day, and you going to fuss at the manager. Because they decide to improve their inventory so that they can make some money. Their sales can grow and they can continue to get business. No, we can't do that. We cannot do that. Come out with your own clothing line. If you have a style, that you like, that you're used to wearing, come out with your own clothing line. There's a way of making you some money. And still allowing these people to do what they do far as, what's going on in today's time. Even TV is not what it used to be. They got all this mess out on TV now. But what can you do about it? Unless you're going to create a TV show of your own, come out with something that, you used to. This is what it is. This is what it is. We complain entirely too much. Even on the job, when you first started, just using me as an example, when I first started the public supermarket, I was in 11th grade when I first got my first job. That was my very first job. I started off as a bagger. As I began to learn that, got it down pat, they saw that I did a good job. They promoted me. There's change. And of course, I didn't turn it down because I got kind of bored with just bagging groceries all day, every day. So I embraced that new opportunity because it was something new to me. I get to do something different. Yes, I still bag groceries when they needed baggers. But to be moved up to a different place was awesome. I mean, it was awesome. But what I'm doing now, CPR. I started out just really taking the class to learn how to do CPR. Then after a while, I moved up. It's like, okay, I may never, ever, ever have to do CPR on someone a day in my life. So let me teach it. I began to teach it, became an instructor, and that was good, and I'm still doing that. But then I elevated myself and became an instructor trainer. And to be able to teach people to do what I do and be greater at it than I am is a blessing within itself. To see people come in that classroom nervous as all get out. Their self-esteem is so low. They're coming in the classroom scared to death because they're afraid they're going to fail. They're afraid they're going to walk out and not pass the class. And then to see at the end of the class, their confidence is on 1,000. Their self-esteem is on 10,000. And they're walking out with smiles instead of frowns. To see that they taught their first class is amazing. And I wouldn't have been able to see all of that if I hadn't embraced change. I would not have been able to experience that and create new relationships. Create new business ships. New opportunity for more business to help them get business as well as myself. And it's something that they call me back and ask me, can you teach with me? I have a class, 20 students, because they know they can only teach a certain amount of students by themselves. So if they have over that, they reaching out to me. Ms. Williams, can you come and teach alongside me? Yes, I'll be glad to. And I let them teach it. I don't go in there saying because I trained you, I'm going to teach this class. No, I sit back and let them teach it. And when I tell you there's so much joy in being the change I want to see. Because I accepted change. I was able to change a life. I was able to be a blessing in someone else's life for them to go out and make a difference in others' lives and change others' lives. To be something, be happy. When you want to do something, step out there and do it, even if you're scared. Because guess what? When you step out there and do it, God will plant the right people in your life to meet that need, to make you comfortable, to give you a safe place to learn and not judge you based on how you're feeling and what you're doing. Y'all come on and accept change. Change is good. Some of y'all need it. You'll feel so much better. You will feel so much better. Right now, some of you want to do some things. You want to step out and do some things. But for one, people is in your ear. Get people out of your ear. And stop letting people tell you what you should not do. Oh, if I were you, they're not you. That's the difference. They are not you. Y'all are different for a reason. What worked for them is not going to work for you, and what worked for you is not going to work for them. So stop letting people start that play. Oh, if I were you, I wouldn't do that. Why? When people tell me that, I step out and do it anyway. My sisters will tell you, when you tell me no, I'm going to prove to you that I can. When you say I can't, I'm going to go out there and prove to you that I can. Don't tell me no. Don't tell me I can't do it. Because that gives me more strength, more energy from somewhere to get out there and get the job done. So y'all stop letting people disencourage y'all from not doing what's on your heart to do. You gonna have some struggles. You gonna run into some things. But in the end, if it's meant for you to do it, you're gonna get it done. Secondly, stop telling your business to people. That's second and foremost. That should have been first. Stop running your mouth saying, I got an idea, this, that, and the third, but I'm kind of scared about it. I don't know. And, this, that, and the third. Cut that out. I know sometimes you have to seek out help far as how to get started, far as resources and that sort of thing, but y'all are talking to the wrong people. Family and friends are your worst enemies when it comes to getting started with a business or a dream that you want to do. And I know I'm going to lose a lot of people right there, but it's the truth if you really look at it. Because then they're going to turn it around and plan this thing out the way they want you to do it, the way they see it in their eyes. And yes, everybody sees things differently. And everyone has an opinion on stuff. And all opinions don't fit what you're trying to do. Sometimes opinions will discourage you and confuse you in what God really told you to do. So sometimes it's best to just pray, take it to God, and let him lead you on who to go to help you birth your vision out and complete the assignments at hand. Be led of God and stop talking to everybody. That's probably why you can't accept change now and you have not walked into your new. Because so many people have stepped in the way and you just left it alone because it was just too much. The comments were too much. The feedback, the opinions were too much. Stop telling people what's on your heart. Stop telling people your dreams and your visions. Stop allowing people to talk you out of what you know you're supposed to be doing. And go for it because you got this. Yes, walking into something you've never been in, walking into change, walking into a place you've never been in before, you've never done it. It's a scary feeling. Walking into new territory is scary. Moving to places you've never been and don't have no family, don't know nobody, that is a scary place. Trust me, I know. It's a scary place. But sometimes you have to walk into that with power and authority and with confidence. And that scary place, that scariness will move. That darkness will move because you're walking into it with light. So y'all come on and accept change. Stop being scared. Stop being afraid to accept change. Because whether you know it or not, whether you accept it or not, change is happening. It's going to happen. And you can sit and not complain about what you're not used to if you want to. That's your choice. But guess what? Time and change is going to pass you by. And it's happening more quickly now than ever. So I would encourage you to get on this train. Get on board before you get left behind and before you're sinking around. Because we don't have time to come back and get you when you finally decide to accept change. Learn all you can now. Even if you don't use it for a long time. Learn it because sooner than later you're going to need it. Sooner than later you're going to need it. Y'all accept change. I'm telling you now. Come up out of the old and embrace the new. I'm not saying forget the old. I'm not saying forget where you come from. I'm not saying forget the things you learned back in time. No, I'm not saying that. Because what you learned back then can help you even today. But it's more. It's more than what we're used to. It's more than what we know right now. It's so much more, and you're missing out if you don't accept change.